Hello, and welcome to GSA's Cloud Mini Series. My name is Barry Hodge, and I'll be your host for this session. I serve in GSA's Federal Acquisition Service in the Information Technology category. My team is responsible for cloud and software category management. I work with a team of cloud subject matter experts who assist federal, state, local, tribal, territories, and other eligible organizations with navigating the cloud acquisition process. I've got a background in providing IT solutions for the federal government, and in recent years have implemented solutions focused on providing cloud services to the federal government. After completing this session, feel free to look up our other videos in the Cloud Mini series hosted by some of my colleagues in GSA. In this session, we'll be discussing modular contracting, particularly as it relates to acquiring cloud services. So let's get right into the agenda. First, we'll establish a clear understanding of the objectives of modular contracting. This will give us a solid foundation to look deeper into how this approach works for cloud services acquisitions. Second, we'll explore the reasons to use modular contracting. By understanding the motivations behind this approach, we can better appreciate its advantages in addressing the challenges of acquiring cloud. Third, we'll cover our recommended framework for using modular contracting. We'll provide some practical examples showing how an organization might effectively use modular contracting to facilitate their cloud services acquisitions. And lastly, we'll uncover the array of benefits that come hand in hand with adopting a modular contracting approach for acquiring cloud services. This discussion is tailored for two key audiences: those involved in the acquisition process within your organization, and the IT professionals that are responsible for developing technical requirements, managing, implementing, and operating IT services within your organization. So what is modular contracting? At its core, it's an acquisition strategy designed to address both program risk and contractor performance. But what sets it apart and how does it relate to cloud services acquisitions? Let's turn to the official source for guidance. According to the Federal Acquisition Regulation Part 39, Subpart 103, modular contracting is intended to reduce program risk and incentivize contractor performance while meeting the government's need for timely access to rapidly changing technology. So in essence, modular contracting isn't just an acquisition strategy, it's a dynamic approach that reduces risk for cloud buyers and cloud service vendors alike by promoting clearer and better informed requirements, which benefits both parties mutually. These benefits will become apparent as we proceed through this session. As we look further into our exploration of modular contracting for cloud services, let's turn our attention to some of the reasons that would drive organizations to take this approach. For each of these drivers that we'll discuss, modular contracting facilitates the identification and elimination of gaps that are critical to enhancing success at later stages of the cloud acquisition journey. So let's examine a few of these in detail. First, poor or outdated system documentation. When planning a cloud acquisition, clear and up-to-date documentation of existing IT systems and IT infrastructure is a must. But for a number of reasons, sometimes documentation may be sparse or outdated and in need of a refresh in order to support a cloud acquisition. In such a scenario, modular contracting can be used to procure services to document the current IT systems and infrastructure, with the delivered documentation supporting decisions for next steps, and secondarily serving as inputs into the next modular contract. Security. Ensuring the security of cloud solutions is paramount. By employing a modular contracting process, security protocols can be tightly integrated into each module and verified along the way, minimizing vulnerabilities and enhancing overall system security. The buzz phrase for this is baked in, not bolted on. Modular contracting promotes efficient and informed cost estimation. which helps with appropriations planning and traceability by providing a mechanism to identify and break down cost data points for each module. This granularity aids in estimating costs prior to the acquisition phases of each module, and it helps with tracking costs and optimizing resource allocations during operations. Managing governance across a cloud environment can be daunting, and it's more of an evolution than an implementation with a hard finish. Modular contracting facilitates the establishment of governance controls specific to each module, ensuring compliance with organizational policies. Interoperability. In a cloud landscape where integration is key, modular contracting allows for addressing interoperability challenges module by module, resulting in a more cohesive and effective system. Compliance. We mentioned security, however, adhering to legal, regulatory, and policy requirements, in addition to organizational requirements, is also just as important. Modular contracting assists in aligning each module with the necessary compliance standards, reducing the complexity of achieving overall compliance. And for organizations lacking extensive cloud expertise or resources, modular contracting enables collaboration with specialized vendors for specific modules, enhancing the quality of implementation and encouraging a learn as you go approach. And for organizations that are transitioning from on-premises systems to cloud for the first time, modular contracting allows for targeted acquisition of expertise and professional services to supplement gaps in current IT staffing, and a phased migration, reducing disruption and risk during the transition. Each of these reasons underscores the adaptability and practicality of using modular contracting, making it a strategic choice for modern cloud services acquisitions. Next, we'll explore modular contracting for cloud services in practice, and we'll look at it from two different perspectives. First, we'll look at it from a higher level at conceptual strategies for acquiring cloud services. That is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. We'll then shift to modular contracting approaches for professional services that organizations typically use to enable migrations to the cloud. So the first step is to categorize the different types of cloud services that your agency plans to acquire. We recommend a categorization of services, with infrastructure as a service and platform as a service being the first category. IaaS and PaaS consist mainly of compute, storage, and network resources provided by the cloud service provider, or CSP. With IaaS and PaaS, your internal IT shop retains some responsibility for customizing these components and layering on applications to complete the full service needed by the business. Also, IaaS and PaaS are typically consumption or utilization based, meaning your organization will pay by how many units or transactions of the service it consumes. The next category is software as a service, or SaaS. SaaS differs from IaaS and PaaS in that the base configuration, maintenance, and operation of the service by the CSP extends to the application layer as well, leaving only the customization and access concerns to your organization's IT team. Additionally, while SaaS can be consumption or utilization based, SaaS is most often a subscription or a term-based pricing model. The last category is cloud-related professional services. Our recommendation is to keep cloud-related professional services acquisition separate and distinct from CSP services whenever possible. The logical separation of acquisitions sets the stage for being able to continue the modular contracting concept at the system and application migration level, which I'll cover next. When talking about modular contracting from the perspective of migrating applications and systems to the cloud, a recommended best practice is to use modular contracting when deliverables can be used to feed future requirements or deliverables. This next section describes how an organization might apply a modular contracting approach to migrating on-premises systems, applications, or services to the cloud. This will be demonstrated through 3 contracts spanning initiation to operations. For the first modular contract, a complete analysis of the on-premises IT services that are potential targets for the migration to cloud services is recommended. This can range from core services to a single application to a full application portfolio and the underlying systems that support them. The primary goal of this contract is to fully document all the various requirements associated with providing the service. This would include business requirements such as available budget, hours of availability, end user community characteristics, acceptable time to restore service in the event of a failure, and other business-driven requirements. It also includes the technical requirements that are derived from those business requirements, such as architecture and design and infrastructure-related requirements. Existing or outdated documentation should be updated and new documentation developed to document the as-is, which is critical to making good decisions on migrating IT services to the cloud. At this stage, the information gathered may compel a decision to forego a cloud migration and to retain some IT systems and components on premises until they can be migrated or retired. This phase is also the optimal time for those decisions to be reached to avoid unnecessary costs and effort in later phases. Should the decision to migrate to the cloud remain the outcome of this phase, the deliverables developed here essentially produce the comprehensive business and technical requirements and the cost inputs needed for the next phase of the modular contracting journey. For the second modular contract, the requirements and other information delivered in the previous phase helps to construct a more focused and informed modernization and migration acquisition. The major steps of this phase are as follows. First, modernize the application or service to be migrated from the on-premises IT to the cloud environment. Depending on the characteristics of the application, this could be a lift and shift or a complete refactoring or redesign of the application to take better advantage of cloud features like scalability and redundancy. Next, the cloud-based design for your service or application is developed to include the migration methodology and the initial plan for executing the migration. The development of the initial support and operations documentation or the update of existing support and operations procedures are included in this plan as well. And finally, the execution of the migration plan and the transition to the operational team occurs. You may choose to combine or completely separate some or all of these steps based on your specific needs. However, the operational transition marks an elegant handoff boundary for the next phase of the system development lifecycle. The third modular contract is operations and maintenance. This is the relatively steady state phase of the process, and this can be a new modular contract or a transition to an existing operations and maintenance contract that you already have in place. Regardless, this is where the IT systems that were migrated become fully operational in the cloud and are kept running efficiently. Here, regular system administration is performed, such as patching and optimization, ensuring all configuration change and related activities are covered under your organization's configuration and change management processes. System and configurations are backed up based on uptime and recovery requirements defined in the earlier phases, in the earlier modular contracts. Tracking of any assets related to the system or its dependencies occurs here as well. Access management involves ensuring the right individuals have the appropriate access and permissions to the services as those needs change over the operational life cycle, and those activities are conducted here as well. And handling and resolution of any outages, incidents, or error conditions is all within scope, in alignment with troubleshooting and escalation processes specific to your organizations. In summary, the modular contracting approach provides the following benefits and advantages. Agile implementation. The modular approach enables better agility by providing natural breakpoints to change strategy based on discoveries in each phase, or changes in business requirements and technology that may not have been anticipated. Modular contracting promotes and ensures the appropriate level and type of documentation, ensuring that the organization has a clear record of your systems and operations. This is invaluable for compliance, cybersecurity, troubleshooting, and future enhancements. By breaking down your procurement into modules, you have the flexibility to choose specialized vendors for each component, ensuring that you work with the best vendors in each domain. By leveraging specialized vendors for individual modules, you can reduce the need for in-house expertise and labor for short-term time-boxed work. Also, you can customize where this expertise is acquired based on your unique resource constraints. Additionally, modular contracting can create better opportunities for smaller, diverse, or local business to participate in government or corporate contracts. Modular designs can make your systems more portable, reducing vendor lock-in and making them compatible with multiple cloud service providers. Modular contracting promotes cost control through better estimations, facilitated through intentional documentation and planning activities. And ultimately, this approach will help your organization achieve the cloud smart objectives that we're all subject to, whether through federal mandate or just for the overall benefit of your mission. This concludes our session on modular contracting. We hope you have enjoyed this session and it has provided valuable insight into procuring cloud in a way that fits your unique needs. As I mentioned at the beginning of this session, my team is available to consult with you goals and to help customize a modular contracting approach to your situation. If you're interested, please reach out to us using the cloudinfo@GSA email address to arrange a consultation. We're happy to help you on your cloud acquisition journey. We thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the next session.